Hey guys, it's Angie with Talking Tall. I thought we'd do something a little different this week, and instead of talking about clothes, we'd talk about Pilates. So I've been doing Pilates for, I think maybe about 13 years, 13 or 14 years, probably going on 14 years. I discovered it a while back because I was having issues with my lower back. Of course, most tall people, I'm sure, experience issues with their lower back. And I wanted to find a way to make my core stronger, and Pilates has been a big help with that. Big help. So I've gotten to the point now where I go twice a week, and I will tell you that my class is not an easy class. It is a more difficult class, but I like that. I want to be challenged. I want to be pushed. So my class is a little bit harder than probably most. And as usual, I have my notes. So let me see what else I wanted to talk about. Oh yes, so there's all kinds of things in Pilates that you can actually use when you do Pilates. So hopefully I'll pop some pictures up here. There's a reformer, there's a chair. Our studio, or the studio that I go to, even has some TRX in there. We have what we call boxes, BOSUs, foam rollers. Oh, and then also there's a piece of equipment called the Cadillac, which is better for tall people because it actually has a little bit more space on it, but it's set up a little differently. And I'll try to put some pictures in so you can see the difference between the two. But it's all based on kind of your own body resisting, and then also on the reformer there are 5 springs, and you can set those springs at a lower or a high tension. And so depending upon the combination of the colors of the springs that you use and the tension that you use can make the workout easier or more difficult. So it's up to you. If you want to change it that day, you want to go a little bit easier, you can change the springs. So I like that. I think that's a really good thing for your workout because you don't want it to kind of be the same thing all the time. So having all these tools to use in Pilates is great. Yeah, like I said, some days are easy, some days are hard. Right when you think, oh, I got this, I can do this, you go back and it's like, nope, don't got this. I got to keep going. I got to keep working at this. But I thought it might be interesting for y'all to hear a little bit about the studio that I go to. And so I put together a little interview with the owner of the studio and the instructor that I take Pilates from. I would let them tell you a little bit about how they got involved, what Pilates is, and all of that good stuff. So here's a little clip from my first interview. So y'all be gentle if you want to talk about it, because I've never interviewed anybody before in my entire life. So here we go. Alright, hey guys, it's Angie. I'm here with Anna and Tandy. We're here at Studio A Pilates, and I know I get a lot of questions about Pilates when I tell people that I do it, so I thought we would go to the experts and let them answer a few questions for us, right? And as usual, I have my notes. Y'all always know I have my notes. So, first question is, how did y'all first become involved with Pilates? And then, in addition to that, how did you get into instructing it?
Do you want me to go? Okay, well, I have a degree in exercise science from A&M, and I've always been in the fitness business because of that. So I've always taught exercise classes, been a personal trainer, run fitness programming. And then as I was going through my career, I realized I needed more certifications and different things to keep up my knowledge. So I took a Mat Pilates 1 course. And then it turned into, I love this, it's helping me as a person individually, I'm helping people teaching mat, and then I took another one, and then I learned more and more and more, and eventually got fully certified in Pilates, and then decided there isn't a studio in this area at all, and I only want to do this from now on. So I opened the studio, and so that's how I got into it.
Okay. Wait, were you the first studio here?
No.
Oh.
There was one secretly open that I didn't know about, but they're still around, but we're, we do well.
Because I was like, wait, were you the first studio
No,
here?
there was one, actually we all kind of opened right, there was another one that opened right before me that I didn't realize.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that I would be the first, but I
Yeah.
guess somebody else had the same idea. So, That's it.
And then I was a dancer at Sam Houston, so we were going to do, or part of our classes was to go into a Pilates class. So that's how my road to Pilates had came, because I fell in love with it. Again, I got to use my core a little bit more, and then just from there, I started like teaching people, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. So that's kind of my idea, or how my path led to Pilates.
Okay, so whenever I talk to people about Pilates, what like their number one question is always like, is it like yoga?
Everybody says that.
And it's so hard to explain the difference between yoga and Pilates.
Yeah.
So can y'all help explain the difference between
No,
those
you've done more yoga than I have.
I usually tell people, I'm like, yoga is more like you're laying on the mat if you're doing mat Pilates, but it's more like, yes, it's mind body, but you're just, yes, you're using your core, but you're not using your core, kind of thing. So I feel like it's more like in tune breathing than it is like straight on core, or again, obliques or legs or arms.
Yeah, you're doing a lot more flexibility work. You're doing balance work in yoga, which are components of Pilates, but that is the main focus. And then it is a whole bigger mind-body connection, I think, in its own world, where Pilates is, whether you're using the equipment or the mat, it is core work based. Everything starts at your center versus your balance and your flexibility. Those are, as I say, extra credit, what you get from the exercises. So they do kind of cross over, but they really are separate. They are their own workouts.
So that leads into the next question, which is, how can Pilates help you, like medical benefits? So I know we talked about core a lot, right? And I have talked a little bit about how it's helped me as a tall person with my back and back issues, and strengthening that core really helped that. But beyond that, for tall people, what else do y'all see as far as medical benefits?
Oh gosh, I mean, talking about arthritis and autoimmune issues and inflammation. When you move and you strengthen the joints gently, like Pilates teaches us, you are not putting a lot of pressure, and you're lengthening the muscles that support the joints, especially the spine and around the knees. As far as scoliosis, there's issues with scoliosis. Sometimes tall people have issues with that, and not tall people as well. And so it can really take the spine and lengthen it, not necessarily put it back all the way, but it definitely creates less pain, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to say I have scoliosis, and it has helped. Again, yes, has not put it back, but it has helped strengthen the muscles around it. And then plus, I had a knee issue, and Pilates has helped tremendously with my knee issue.
Yeah.
But again, it's stress-free and easy on the joints. So.
Right. You're not having the impact
Right.
like from running or jumping, skipping, all the things. None of that.
I am not a jumper or a runner.
Right,
so.
right. So you strengthen in a way that is, I call it gentle torture. It's a gentle torture. It's really, really great, and you somehow fall in love with it, even though you're shaking and you're challenged and your core is working, and now your shoulders are getting stronger and your knees are getting stronger and your glutes and your low back. I mean, everything really. It's a full body workout.
Awesome. Okay, and we talked about it a little bit already, but just about the studio in general and the kinds of classes, I guess, that y'all have here and all that good stuff.
Well, this is a group Pilates studio, but also private. So our group classes are not very big. They're only up to 5 or 6 sometimes in class. And we have equipment classes on the Reformer. We have TRX here. We also have mat Pilates. I know, not everybody loves TRX.
TRX is your favorite.
It is my favorite. I love it. And we sometimes will incorporate those in the different classes in the format, so you can intertwine them. And we have everybody from very beginners, never even heard of Pilates, like you're saying, and all the way to advanced. And Tandy teaches those. So it's private and small group, essentially. And so, yeah, so we only have a few classes that are more advanced, because the majority of our clients are more, new to the Pilates world, really.
So what would you suggest if people are new to the Pilates world? How can they get started, or what should they do to get started?
Well, they should call. And then I will set them up with some one-on-one sessions with myself, Tandy, or I have 2 other instructors on staff too that can get them going. We do private one-on-one sessions for about 4, sometimes 6 sessions. And then you'll get the fundamentals of Pilates. You kind of understand how the equipment works and whether you use it or not. And then you can go into some group classes after that, hopefully.
That helps you too with like the cueing, with how to change the springs and what they're saying, which way to face and all that good stuff.
Right, yes, because the classes are going to move more fluidly than a one-on-one session. Yes.
And you're not thrown in to a class with having like 15 minutes before class just to recognize everything. You get a true on private.
Right, perfect, yep, that's perfect.
All right, well, thank you, Anna and Tandy, for visiting with us today. I appreciate it, and hope to see everybody at Pilates next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey, everyone. Angie here. Thought it might be helpful if I inserted a little clip from one of my classes. Now, you're not going to see the entire class here, but I thought you might help you get an idea of what it's like to actually take a Pilates class. And so here you can see we typically start out on the reformer, and the exercises that we do at the beginning of the class were kind of considered a warm-up. We warm up our legs, we warm up our abs, we warm up arms, all in preparation for the rest of class. And hopefully you can kind of see some of the springs on the reformer that you can change. So you can change the tension, change how much resistance that you have on the reformer itself. In the room behind me, you can see that there's a chair, and there's also a Cadillac reformer in the back. Also near my head is something that we call a jump board. We'll put that on the end of the reformer sometimes during class, and we actually jump off of it, and that way we can get some cardio in during class. Now, we don't always do the same moves in class, but we do incorporate a lot of the same moves, just in different ways. Here you see, this is what I was talking about, a box. So we put the box on the reformer, and then we do some of exercises on the box. And you'll see here in a minute too, I actually move to the other room and we work on the chair. And then also later we work on the Cadillac, but unfortunately I didn't move the camera, so you won't be able to see us work on the Cadillac. So here we go into the chair, or onto the chair. And the chair also has springs that you can adjust as well. All right, guys, so I hope that interview was helpful. I just want to say that, or make it more clear, that I used to have really bad lower back issues when I was younger. And of course, being tall, there's a lot to support. And unfortunately, your back takes the brunt of it. So by doing Pilates, it has helped me strengthen my core. I don't have the lower back issues like I used to have. And honestly, I've made Pilates kind of my routine. Let me also say, being 6'2", I was never the jumpy jazzercise step kind of a person. That's just not me. Yes, I was a dancer. I love to dance. I danced from the time I was 2 years old till the time I was 18, and still try to do it every chance I get. So I do have that, but I was never not the cutesy cheerleader, bouncy type. So I think that's another reason why Pilates is so great for me, is I feel like it's Zen in its own way. It's not yoga. Yoga is a totally different thing, but it has a little bit of Zen to it, but yet you still get a workout, and you are doing the best workout for you, being tall and strengthening that core. So Pilates is my thing. And I tell everybody that I talk to. So hopefully this encourages you, if you haven't, or if you have some issues with your back, to go out and try Pilates. I think it's a really great thing. You just got to keep up with it and do your best. So hope y'all enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye, guys.